All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Joshua Dickey. I wrote the book A Patriot's Journey, Forging Hope. Today, I'm talking a little bit about PTSD and kind of what it is, real quick, and then go into a little bit of things that have helped me, things that I've been doing, um, things that definitely don't work, more should I say, things that don't work for me, because everybody's different. So um, everybody's affected differently by the things that happen. So first off, PTSD. What is it? It is severe trauma of some sort, or it's put into an extreme life-threatening situation. And so, if you were in either of those, um, you could have PTSD. That's why PTSD isn't a military thing; it's an everybody thing. It just so happens though PTSD has been more affiliated with the military because they come back and a lot of war and people get shot at. So therefore, PTSD is more attached to military, but it very much is for anybody because it's just anybody that's experienced a traumatic event or a life-threatening situation that caused extreme fear. All right, so things that I have done that have worked extremely well. Well, first off, Point Man is a religious based um, ministry, and um, and how basically what it is it just kind of goes through, and since it's religion based, it's kind of like, hey man, surrender yourself to God and to Christ and leave your burdens at their feet, and um, it'll help um, ease your stress and your pain and your suffering, and hopefully, you'll be able to progress and move forward. And um, I mean, it's not going to solve everything, but through faith and your determination and continually working and striving to be better through love and patience, hopefully one day you'll be able to get back to a better place. So that was one thing that worked extremely well. Uh, Things that did not work for me. Um, there's a couple of inpatient treatment facilities that I was sent to. One was in Phoenix called Happy Valley Hospital. Spent 30 days there. Um, it was supposed to, help with all these things, and it actually didn't. It made things actually worse. Um, because they made you feel like you couldn't control your own life because everything you did was micromanaged. I think the place like for like hospitals are for extreme cases, like people that are trying to hurt themselves or um, maybe um, addicts that are trying to get clean, people that need extra care around the clock type behavior that they need that extra guidance and somebody helping them through just to get back on their feet. And then after 30 days, and they could go to like a halfway house or wherever they need to go to finish their treatment and get better and continue to work on it. But for active duty, because that's when I went when I was active, the first time. Oh, I was on active duty both times I went, and I told the psychologist I was seeing, I said, hey, my problem is that all I see is just crap. I don't ever see anything good. I just need to break away from everything and everybody. I found these retreats that you can go to that are just in the middle of the country, and they do horseback riding, canoeing, they do organized classes, they do all these things, and that's something like I need to go do. They're about a week long, maybe 2 weeks long, depending on the organization, and to help introduce you back to good environments. The world is not all dark and evil and and a bad place. There's good stuff. So they decided to put me in another hospital, and once again, it was the same as the other one. It was worse when I came back out, and um, I told the people that sent me there, I said, hey, that is the worst hospital to send anybody to. Do not send anybody there ever again. The only way you should send people there is if it's an extreme emergency and everything's life-threatening. Other than that, man, they just need to keep doing what they're doing because they have a better chance of succeeding and doing well than if you send them back to these basically, it's basically a prison. And you're there for 30 days. So it doesn't help at all. Another thing that I was on is medications. Now, medications can be good if you're treating one symptom and that's it. The problem is I've had doctors that wanted to treat, since I had a bunch of issues, they thought they treated them all at the same time, that, that could be beneficial to me. Well, I was on so many medications, it actually slowed down my brain so much. Everybody thought I was like mentally slow for the fact that I couldn't react very quickly. I was so time delayed. I would fall asleep, like speaking to you. I'd just lose track of time, or I'd think you asked me a question now, and I would answer you, and you'd look at me funny, and I'm like, what? Dude, I asked you that question like an hour ago. But to me, you just asked it to me, and that's how slow like things were. So I ended up pulling myself off all the medications, and at one time, and I went through super bad withdrawals, and went back to the doctor, and he was pretty pissed off and got real mad and said I shouldn't have done that. I could have actually killed myself by doing that. And I said, well, I didn't know that, but even if I did, I probably wouldn't care because you had me on so many drugs. I probably was killing myself anyways, just at a slower rate. But medications can be good, treating one thing at a time. So if you have multiple things, do not take multiple drugs. It's a guessing game, to be honest with you. They're just trying to treat the symptom, and there's no telling how these drugs react against each other and the things it does to your brain, or the adverse effects and the longevity of it. I don't know what's going on in my head, but still, I don't know if it's the TBIs or the PTSD, but there's times like it seems like hours go by, and Tara just like looks at me and she's just like, "What the heck, man? You're just like off in space." Or I'll just be sitting there and I'll just fall asleep for no reason. Now, I'm not narcoleptic. It's just the way things are now with me. All the medications had weight gain associated to them because it all slowed down everything. And then you mix that up with physical limitations, and you're talking about, I turned into a chunky monkey. It's which is another pretty hard pill to swallow. Sometimes when you go from being super physically fit and to all of a sudden now you had significant weight gain, and you can not do the same things that you used to, or now everything you do you're in physical pain, and it's just like, man, something has to give eventually, because being 39, you're too young to be in physical pain every single day. That shouldn't be, so you see specialists and neurologists and everybody else, and they're trying to figure out how things are going, and then on top of that, you're dealing with mental issues, and then on top of that, you have family issues because you're not always the most caring, considerate, or loving person towards them, especially when you have all these other things, and those are just excuses. I mean, there's no reason why you should treat anybody poorly. But I just know that um, those are some things that have worked and don't work for me, actually, personally. Another thing that works, you know, ride my motorcycle more. So anytime you can do something out and, get that sunlight or nature or that environment, that also helps, in your mental progression and health. And that's very good for you. Lastly, because I've been having so many struggles with things and working through them, I decided to start telling people about the knowledge I have. So I do discussion groups, especially like I'll read a poem out of my book and then I'll have a discussion over it and have other people tell me about their experiences or things that they've been working on or thinking about. And that's on the second and fourth Tuesday here in Casa Grande at our HOHP office, the Vet Center. And I just had the first one, and I think it went rather well. And it's for vets and family, because when you have some type of mental uh, health issues, it doesn't affect just you; it affects the whole family. It's not just a you problem; it's a family problem, because everybody has to deal with you, and you have to deal with your family. So it's better if everybody understands, and the more knowledge they have, and the more that they see that it isn't just you that it affects this way, that there's others like you too, and it kind of helps with the support, and it changes the way you think and feel, because now you know you're not alone, and there's others out there to help you. Last thing that's also really helped, which is very pivotal in my whole progression, is writing my poetry and sharing them with you guys, because I believe sharing personal experiences and just things that have happened to others or you or somebody personally will actually have a greater effect on your mental state as well, on being a driving force in you getting better, because you don't want to be like that person that's struggling. They're telling you how they were able to slowly start to get better. I mean, you're never gonna be, I guess, 100%, but you could always be better than you are as long as you continue to work. So as long as you don't lose faith in yourself and you keep working hard and you keep striving to better yourself on a daily basis, and then you will get better. But if you just give up and say, I'm never going to get better, I'm never going to amount to anything, and then that's where you go. Input negative thoughts, negative things come out. Be optimistic and keep trying to fill your world with positivity. Positivity is going to come out, and you're going to start improving, and you're going to have a different outlook, and you're going to want to spread that joy, and that joy is going to be contagious, and it's just going to be something to keep building off of. I want to thank everybody for continuing the support that you have for me and listening to my videos and my channel, and I just want to thank you for all that support, and I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks.